Chosen one, listen closely because this message is not for the crowd. It is for the rare, the marked, the ones who have been carrying a weight unseen, a burden that no one else understands. You fought battles that seemed endless. You've prayed in silence, whispered in shadows, held faith in the storms when it felt like everything was against you. And now God is about to speak directly to your heart. The battle you've been engaged in, the one that has drained your strength, tested your patience, and pushed your faith to the edge, is nearing its end. But it will not end in struggle. It will end suddenly. Not by your power, not by your plans, but by God's declaration. Victory is coming. And it comes like a sudden sunrise after the longest night, like a torrent breaking through a dam you thought would never fall. You may have wondered if your prayers were heard, if your struggles were noticed, if the weight was ever going to break. You are not alone. The heavens have been attentive to your tears. The angels have been carrying your burdens, and God Himself has been orchestrating a divine reversal in your life. What has held you back, what has seemed impossible, will be overturned. Right now, I want you to feel it deep within your spirit. A shift is coming. A divine momentum is gathering in the unseen realm, and it is moving directly toward you. Doors that were closed will swing open. Obstacles that felt insurmountable will crumble. Opposition that whispered defeat will be silenced. And here is the secret that you must hold on to as you listen today. This is not just a promise of relief. This is a declaration of transformation. The battle ending suddenly is a signal that God is stepping in to reveal the fullness of your destiny. He is not just giving you peace, He is giving you authority, purpose, and the reward of endurance. So lean in. Let your spirit open to the whispers of heaven. Let your heart recognize the stirring of divine intervention. This message will reveal what God has been preparing in secret, the signs He has been placing around you, the breakthrough that is already in motion. And by the end, you will know without a doubt, victory is not just coming, it has already been declared. Hold on to that truth, chosen one. Let it resonate. Let it awaken something in you that has been waiting for this very moment. Because what God is about to do in your life will change everything. And as you feel the stirring in your spirit, know this: the message you are hearing is not mere encouragement. It comes from a source far higher, far greater than any human understanding. The very voice of God is orchestrating this moment. Every move, every shift, every seeming coincidence you have experienced has been carefully guided by His hand. This is a divine appointment, not something you stumbled upon by chance. Not a random word floating in the air. It is destiny speaking. The God who knows the end from the beginning. The one who sees every tear you've shed and every battle you've fought in secret has prepared this revelation just for you. In the quiet of your heart, you may have felt His presence like a gentle wind or a whisper in the stillness. Perhaps it was a sudden clarity in the chaos, a peace that surpassed understanding, a nudge that guided you forward when all roads seemed blocked. That was God moving, preparing the way, signaling that He is not distant or indifferent. He is present, active, and deliberately moving toward your breakthrough. There is a sacred order in what is happening. Everything that seemed unfair, everything that tested your faith, was part of a larger design. The enemy may have thought he could intimidate, delay, or discourage you, but God's plan has always been greater, and now the time has come for that plan to unfold openly in your life. Do not mistake this for something small. This is a divine unveiling, a moment where heaven intersects with your reality. You are standing at the threshold of a profound shift. A moment where the invisible becomes visible, where the spiritual battle reveals the victory that was already written in eternity. Feel the weight of this truth. The same God who calmed storms, who parted seas, who delivered the oppressed and strengthened the weak, is the same God acting in your life today. He is orchestrating every detail so that the battle ends suddenly, so that victory arrives not by your striving, but by His declaration. every prayer, every act of faith, every moment of endurance has been noticed. Nothing has been wasted. And as you listen now, you are invited to trust, not in your own timing, not in your own understanding, but in the perfect orchestration of the Almighty. This is the moment where heaven leans closer, where the supernatural begins to intersect with your natural circumstances. The message unfolding is both a warning and a promise. Stand firm, stay vigilant, and prepare to witness the power of God manifesting in your life. Open your heart, open your mind, and let the spirit of anticipation rise within you. The message continues to unfold, revealing not just the end of a struggle, but the beginning of a new era, a divine elevation that aligns with your destiny and purpose. Now listen carefully, for what I am about to reveal is not general, it is personal. The battle you've been fighting, the one that has worn you down and left you questioning, is coming to an abrupt, divine end. But this ending is not merely cessation. It is a sudden, overwhelming declaration of victory, orchestrated by God Himself. Imagine a storm raging for years, clouds blackening the horizon, winds lashing at every step, lightning striking fear into your very bones. You've walked through it, sometimes barely holding on, often questioning if the dawn would ever break. And yet, in the midst of that storm, a hand reaches from the heavens, unseen, but undeniably present. That hand begins to move, the clouds pulling them apart, and suddenly, the sun bursts through. That is the moment God is speaking of. That sudden sunlight is your victory, sudden and complete, coming faster than the enemy ever anticipated. You may have felt for a long time that the battle was endless, that resistance would never cease. Perhaps you've prayed for deliverance only to see the same patterns repeat. But what has been hidden from you is that God has been preparing a supernatural reversal. There are forces in the spiritual realm that have been aligned to challenge you, but they were never stronger than the one who fights on your behalf. And now He is stepping forward, and the scales are tipping in your favor. This is the prophetic moment where the unseen becomes visible, doors that were locked, opportunities that seemed barred, relationships that were strained. Everything aligns in a way that appears sudden, miraculous, and impossible by human logic. The battle does not gradually end. It ceases instantly. One word from God, one movement in the Spirit, and the enemy's strategy collapses. What has been looming over your life, threatening to keep you in chains, will crumble in a single moment. There is a divine choreography at work. Every obstacle, every delay, every seemingly insurmountable challenge has served to position you exactly where you need to be. The trials were not punishments. They were strategic placements, preparing your heart, sharpening your faith, and strengthening your resolve. And now the preparation meets the promise. The culmination of all that you have endured aligns perfectly with the timing of God. Picture this: the heaviness you carry, the doubts that whisper in the night, the fear that threatens to paralyze you, they are all lifted as if a weight you didn't even realize was there is suddenly removed. You will feel a freedom, a release, a sudden clarity. Your vision will sharpen, your path will clear, and you will understand in a single moment that every struggle, every tear, every moment of endurance has led to this divine unveiling. The language of heaven is precise, and its timing is flawless. The declaration of victory is not gradual, it is immediate. The enemy will look around in disbelief as the very walls he believed would contain you collapse. And in that instant, you will know without question, God has fought for you. God has delivered you. God has turned what was meant for harm into an instrument of your triumph. Prepare yourself not with anxiety, but with anticipation. For what is coming is more than relief. It is a supernatural shift, a breaking open of your destiny. A moment where God moves so visibly and powerfully in your life that you cannot deny His presence. The battle ends. Victory is declared, and your life, forever transformed, steps into a new reality orchestrated by the hand of the Almighty. And now, as the battle's end draws near, it is essential to understand the deeper meaning behind what is happening. This sudden victory is not just about circumstances changing. It is about your soul awakening to its true purpose, your spirit aligning with divine timing, and your faith being refined into unshakable strength. Every trial, every delay, every moment of struggle has been a divine instructor teaching you lessons that are invisible to the human eye, but etched eternally in your spirit. The storms you faced were never random. Each one was a teacher, a refining fire designed to remove impurities and prepare you for the glory that lies ahead. Think of it like gold being placed into the furnace. The heat may feel unbearable, the pressure relentless, but the outcome is always precious, enduring, and radiant. What you have endured is shaping you into a vessel capable of carrying the fullness of God's blessing. Your life is a tapestry woven with moments that at times seemed chaotic. But in truth, every thread was placed with purpose. Some threads are dark, representing challenges and sorrow. Others are bright, representing moments of insight, guidance, and grace. Step back and see it through the lens of the spiritual realm, and you realize that this tapestry is not just your story. It is a reflection of God's glory, a living testimony of endurance, faith, and divine intervention. The sudden nature of your victory holds profound spiritual significance. God is demonstrating that He alone controls the timing of deliverance. You cannot manufacture this outcome, you cannot earn it through your own strength, and you cannot predict the exact moment it will occur. It comes by divine decree, in perfect alignment with the rhythms of heaven. This is a reminder that your life is under sovereign authority, and that the one who watches over you never slumbers, never tires, and never forgets His promises. There is also a deeper spiritual truth in the contrast between the battle and its sudden conclusion. Life often feels like a long, grueling journey through darkness, where progress is slow and hope seems distant. But God's interventions are often sudden, unannounced, and spectacular. The purpose of delay is not denial. The purpose of struggle is not punishment. Rather, they are opportunities to cultivate faith, sharpen discernment, and recognize the supernatural when it appears. Notice how often the suddenness of divine action mirrors the principles of nature. A seed planted in darkness does not sprout gradually into full bloom. It emerges suddenly, breaking through the soil, reaching toward the sun. Rivers may seem blocked by stones, yet a flood can carve a new path in an instant. Just as nature operates according to patterns that are unseen until their effects become visible, your spiritual journey follows a divine design. Every struggle, every obstacle, every season of waiting is purposeful. And the sudden victory is the harvest, the visible result of spiritual law in action. Your faith plays a critical role in this unfolding. To embrace the transformation fully, you must recognize that God's timing is perfect, that His wisdom surpasses human understanding, and that surrender is not weakness, it is empowerment. The battle's end is not just an external event, it is an internal awakening. Your spirit begins to operate in alignment with heaven, seeing patterns, understanding mysteries, and receiving revelations that were previously hidden. Finally, understand that this prophetic moment is a lesson in divine authority. The enemy may have believed he held sway over your circumstances, but God's declaration demonstrates that no force can override His will. Your struggles were never larger than God, and your breakthrough is never delayed beyond His perfect timing. Every hardship, every tear, every sleepless night has been leading to this orchestration of victory, where the spiritual and natural realms intersect, revealing the fullness of God's power and your destiny. Hold this truth in your heart. The sudden end of your battle is not just a release, it is a revelation. It is the unveiling of divine purpose, the demonstration of faith in action. And the moment where your spirit fully comprehends that you are not only a survivor of the struggle, but a chosen vessel for glory, authority, and transformation. As the battle nears its sudden conclusion, you may begin to notice subtle signs that confirm the shift is already happening. These are not mere coincidences, they are divine signals placed in your life to awaken your awareness and reassure your spirit. God often communicates through these quiet, unmistakable confirmations, and you must learn to recognize them. First, you may feel a sudden clarity in your thoughts. Problems that once seemed insurmountable begin to unravel in your mind. Solutions appear where before there was confusion. This is a spiritual signal that God is aligning your understanding with His wisdom, preparing you to step into the victory that is coming. Second, you may notice unexpected doors opening. Opportunities may arise that feel perfectly timed, even miraculous. Relationships, career paths, or new directions may suddenly become available ones that previously seemed blocked or impossible. These openings are not random. They are God's hand creating space for your breakthrough. Third, a sense of peace may descend upon you even in the midst of chaos. You may feel an inner calm that cannot be explained by circumstances. This peace is a confirmation that God is at work behind the scenes and that the outcome is already determined in your favor. It is a divine assurance that the battle is being redirected and your spirit can rest in confidence. Fourth, you may encounter repeated numbers, visions, or symbols that capture your attention. These could be moments where a specific phrase pattern or event appears consistently drawing your focus. Heaven often uses these small intentional signals to confirm that the current season of struggle is ending and that divine alignment is taking place. Fifth, you might feel a sudden increase in strength or resilience. Situations that once drained you may no longer hold the same weight. Challenges may still exist, but your response is empowered, clear, and bold. This is God strengthening your spirit for the final moments before victory is fully revealed. Lastly, listen to the whispers in your heart. Dreams, intuitions, or sudden insights may point to actions you should take or truths you need to embrace. These are spiritual confirmations that you are on the right path and that God is actively guiding your next steps. Recognize these signs and do not dismiss them. They are evidence that the battle's end is near, that the enemy's plans are unraveling, and that the divine declaration of victory is approaching. Heaven is speaking to you in ways that are tangible yet personal, subtle yet undeniable. Pay attention and let your spirit respond with faith. Each sign is a reminder that you are not alone, that your struggles have been observed, and that what God has promised is already in motion. The confirmations may be small, but their impact is monumental. They are the whispers of heaven saying, "It is done. Stand ready for your victory approaches." Even as signs of breakthrough appear, understand this. There may still be hidden challenges ahead. These are not punishments, nor are they indications of failure. They are tests, deliberate refining moments that prepare your heart and strengthen your spirit for the sudden victory that is coming. Some of these challenges may appear as delays. Opportunities may hesitate on the threshold, conversations may stall, or situations may seem to drag longer than expected. While this can feel frustrating, it is a divine pause, a moment where your endurance and faith are being tested. The unseen realm is aligning forces, and patience becomes a tool of spiritual strength. Other obstacles may feel like opposition from people or circumstances. You may encounter resistance where before there was none, misunderstandings that seem unfair or unexpected confrontations. These are not signs that God has abandoned you. Rather, they are part of the spiritual refining process. Each test is designed to remove what is unprepared in your character and strengthen your resolve. You may also face internal struggles, doubt, fear, or confusion. Your mind might replay moments of past failure, or your spirit may feel weary. Recognize these as subtle attacks meant to delay your perception of the victory already declared. They are temporary, but they must be confronted with faith and perseverance. Prayer, reflection, and alignment with God's Word will shield you from being swayed. Consider the metaphor of a river. Even as the water flows steadily toward the ocean, Rocks, rapids, and fallen branches create turbulence along the way. The river does not stop. It finds its path navigating obstacles with persistence and force. In the same way, you are being guided through hidden challenges, not to be deterred, but to be refined. The turbulence serves to strengthen your spiritual muscles, preparing you for the sudden open waters of victory ahead. Remember, these challenges are temporary and purposeful. They test your faith, refine your heart, and cultivate humility and endurance. Do not be discouraged. Do not allow fear or impatience to take root. Every trial you encounter is part of the divine choreography, leading to a breakthrough that is far greater than the struggle itself. Hold fast, remain vigilant, and keep your eyes on the unseen victory. The hidden challenges are not the final word. They are only the refining moments before the declaration of triumph. Endure them with faith, for each test you overcome brings you one step closer to the fulfillment that God has ordained for your life. Now, as you stand on the threshold of this sudden victory, it is time to prepare your spirit and your life according to divine instruction. God is not just declaring the end of your battle. He is guiding you into the fullness of the breakthrough, and He wants you ready to step into it with clarity, authority, and faith. The first instruction is to guard your heart and mind. Let nothing steal the peace that God is placing within you. The enemy may attempt to distract or discourage you through negative thoughts, fear, or anxiety. Recognize these attacks for what they are and replace them immediately with the truths of God's Word. Speak life over yourself. Meditate on His promises and allow your heart to be fortified with faith. Second, remain in prayer and connection with God. This is not a passive waiting, it is an active alignment with heaven. Seek His guidance daily, even hourly if needed. Ask for discernment, clarity, and wisdom. Your breakthrough is not just about external circumstances, it is about your spirit being fully aligned with God's plan. The more you commune with Him, the more sensitive you become to His timing and the subtle movements of His hand. Third, take courageous action where prompted. There may be steps that seem risky or uncertain doors that require faith to enter, or opportunities that demand boldness. Do not hesitate. God often opens paths that appear unconventional or intimidating, and the step of faith you take now positions you to fully receive the victory already declared. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward in spite of it, trusting that God goes before you. Fourth, embrace humility and gratitude. A heart aligned with God is one that acknowledges His sovereignty in every detail. Do not claim the victory as your own, and do not allow pride to cloud your awareness. Celebrate every small step, every divine hint, and every shift in your circumstances. Gratitude draws more of heaven's favor into your life, and humility keeps your spirit open to continuous guidance. Fifth, prepare your environment and relationships. Sometimes God's breakthrough requires that you realign your surroundings. Let go of what no longer serves your destiny. Remove toxic influences and create space for divine favor to manifest. This is not about isolation, but about clarity. The blessing that is coming will flow more freely when the channels of your life are open, unencumbered, and receptive. Sixth, declare your faith aloud. Speak over your situation, your future, and your destiny. Words carry power in the spiritual realm. Proclaim that the battle is ending, that victory is yours, and that every obstacle is being removed by God's hand. Your declarations align your spirit with the divine narrative, and the universe begins to respond to the faith you embody. Finally, remain expectant. Do not shrink back, do not grow weary, and do not doubt. Every day, every moment is part of the divine countdown to the sudden manifestation of your breakthrough. Expect it, visualize it, receive it with a heart fully aware that God is faithful. His promises are true, and the battle has already been won in the spiritual realm. Follow these instructions as sacred steps, not burdens. They are both preparation and empowerment. Every action, every word, every posture of faith draws the victory closer and positions you to step fully into the reality God has ordained. Remember, the breakthrough is not gradual, it is sudden, and the steps you take now will ensure you recognize, embrace, and walk confidently into the full revelation of what God has already declared. As you prepare for the sudden victory, take comfort in this: you are not alone. You are surrounded by divine protection, a shield woven from the power of God Himself. Nothing can touch the plans He has placed in your life, and no force can overcome the authority He has given you. Imagine a fortress of light encasing you, golden and impenetrable, radiating warmth and strength. Every attack, every attempt to intimidate, every strategy of the enemy bounces off this divine barrier. You may feel the pressure of the world around you, but it cannot penetrate the protection of heaven. You are watched over by angels assigned specifically to guard your steps and guide your path. Even in moments when circumstances appear threatening, remember that these are only shadows. The light of God's presence renders them powerless. What looks like chaos is merely a surface manifestation, while underneath the hand of the Almighty is orchestrating every detail, ensuring your safety, securing your victory, and guiding you toward the destiny He has already written for you. You may also notice signs of reassurance, sudden peace in your heart, inexplicable strength in your spirit, or doors opening where there should have been none. These are God's confirmations, reminders that His protection is active and His promises are steadfast. Trust in these moments. They are indicators that the unseen realm is working on your behalf. Remember, protection is not only about defense, it is also about assurance. God is affirming that you are on the right path, that every step you take in faith is under His watchful care. You do not need to fear the unknown, for His presence goes before you, surrounds you, and remains behind you, guiding and preserving you through every challenge. Allow this assurance to settle deep within your spirit. Let it calm your anxiety, dissolve your doubts, and empower your faith. Every obstacle, every trial, every moment of uncertainty has been accounted for by God. Your life is under His sovereign watch, and nothing can thwart His plan for your sudden breakthrough. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that divine protection is not temporary, it is ongoing. Heaven has declared your victory, and while the battle may seem real in the natural, in the spiritual realm, your triumph is already secured. The shield around you is unbreakable. The guidance from above is constant, and the promises of God are unshakable. Take heart. Rest in the assurance that every step you take is under divine supervision. You are protected. You are guided. You are loved. And nothing, no struggle, no opposition, no doubt, can prevent the fulfillment of the destiny that God has already set before you. And now envision the moment immediately after the battle ends. It is not merely a pause or a relief. It is a profound transformation. The chains that once bound you, the weight that once pressed heavily on your shoulders, are gone. In their place, a new strength emerges, a clarity of purpose, and a deep recognition of who you truly are in God's design. Your spirit rises like a phoenix from the ashes of struggle, not weakened by the fire, but refined by it. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt has served to prepare you for this awakening. You will see yourself differently. You will see your life differently. What once felt like mere survival now becomes a platform for divine manifestation. The transformation is not just internal, it will ripple outward into every aspect of your life. Relationships may shift in alignment with God's plan. Opportunities will appear that match your newfound authority, and doors that were long closed will swing open with ease. Even your environment seems to respond to this divine elevation, as if the universe itself bends to the decree of heaven. Emotionally, you will experience a release like nothing before. Relief, joy, and peace will flood your heart all at once. Fear will dissipate, replaced by boldness and courage. Gratitude will surge through your soul, not as a fleeting feeling, but as a lasting recognition of God's faithfulness and power. You will understand, in a way, words cannot capture, that every struggle, every test, every delay was part of a sacred preparation for this very moment. Spiritually, this fulfillment connects you to your destiny in ways you may not have fully grasped before. Your purpose becomes clearer, your calling sharper. The sudden victory acts as a catalyst, opening channels of insight, revelation, and spiritual authority. You begin to operate with discernment and boldness, understanding that your life is no longer merely reactive, but proactively aligned with God's plan. Imagine walking into a room you've never entered yet. Everything there feels designed for you, every object, every opportunity, every encounter. This is the essence of the fulfillment that awaits a reality so perfectly aligned with your destiny, that it feels preordained, almost miraculous, and yet entirely natural in God's timing. And the most beautiful part of this transformation is that it is not temporary. The victory, the empowerment, the awakening, it is lasting. You will carry this sense of divine alignment into every future battle, every new challenge, and every next step of your journey. You are now equipped to navigate life with a spirit strengthened by endurance, refined by trials, and elevated by the hand of God. Let your heart absorb this reality. Feel the energy of fulfillment flowing through your veins. Know that the sudden end of the battle was only the beginning of a new era in your life, an era marked by clarity, authority, spiritual insight, and profound purpose. You are no longer the person who entered the storm. You are the one emerging victorious, transformed, and fully empowered. As you step into this new reality, hold these truths close and declare them over your life. Speak them aloud. Let them resonate in your spirit and allow them to anchor your faith in the promises of God. Affirmation 1. I am victorious. Every battle that sought to hold me back has ended by the hand of God. I walk free, empowered, and aligned with my divine destiny. Affirmation 2. I am protected. No force of darkness, no obstacle, no attack can touch what God has prepared for me. I am surrounded by His divine shield, guided by His angels, and secured in His presence. Affirmation 3. I am transformed. The struggles I endured have refined me, strengthened me, and elevated me. I embrace the fullness of my purpose, ready to operate in the authority and insight God has given me. Affirmation 4. I am aligned. My steps, my decisions, and my life are in perfect harmony with God's will. I move forward with confidence, clarity, and unwavering faith, knowing that every detail of my path is guided by Him. Now receive this blessing spoken over you from the heart of heaven. May the sudden victory you have long awaited manifest fully in your life. May the chains that bound you crumble completely, and may the doors God has prepared swing open effortlessly. May your spirit soar, your purpose be revealed, and your calling unfold in ways beyond your imagination. May peace flood your heart, even amidst transitions, and may joy rise like a river through your soul. May clarity illuminate every decision, and may divine favor meet you at every turn. The battle has ended, the victory is declared, and your life is marked for greatness, authority, and fulfillment. Carry this blessing with you into every day. Speak the affirmations, believe in the promises, and trust the one who orchestrates all things. Let your heart remain expectant, your spirit vigilant, and your faith unshakable. What God has declared is done. What heaven has spoken is true. The battle is over, and your victory is eternal. Go forth in confidence, knowing that you are seen, you are chosen, and you are divinely empowered. This is your season. This is your breakthrough, and God's glory will shine through you in every step of your journey.